this week's episode of Mondays with Meeks, we talk with Ron Flury, Interim Assistant Vice President of Technical Education.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Mondays with Meeks. We've got a great guest today. We're here with Ron Flury. He's the Interim Assistant Vice President for Technical Education. Thanks for being with us today, Ron.
I thank you for the invite. I'm glad to be here.
Hey, so if it's okay with you, we're just going to jump in. Is that all right?
Feet first.
If you would, tell us, tell the students, tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your background, especially in your path to higher education.
Sure. I've been out here with the institution, with the college for 18 years now. Started in as an adjunct faculty and moved my way up. And I got here through a non-traditional method. I didn't finish high school and I didn't have all the, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Right. I went out there and worked for a little bit. I worked on the space shuttle project in California, in Vandenberg Air Force Base. Then started selling office furniture. Then during that whole time, I got married, and 34 years this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And she decided that she was going to go to PA school, Physician's Assistant School in West Virginia.
Okay.
So we took off out there, and I was working for Kmart at that time. So we got her through medical school, and we ended up in Roswell. And we were looking for a community that was far away from family. Family's great, at a distance even better, sometimes. So we ended up in Roswell. And I came back to school at 30.
Awesome.
And I got my associates here in Roswell. And then I went to Portales and got my bachelor's in political science. And then I started teaching out here as adjunct, teaching computers. It fit the degree. But you do what life gets thrown at you. So started doing that, and then I started doing subbing, and I subbed for you in Roswell High.
One of my substitute teachers. Go Coyotes! Just saying.
There you go. And then I decided, the high school kids were great, but not so much the parents. So I really started focusing in on the college, and then again started teaching out here. Did that for up until about 6 months ago, when this position opened up for an interim spot. I had the background, the knowledge, and I knew the people, so then I started doing it. So that's kind of my experience and how I got to
That's cool.
talking with you today.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a winding path.
It is. It's had a lot of turns.
Yeah, that's so much like how many of our students, especially in this community. So it's kind of great to see that.
Yeah, it's never too late to go back.
Yeah.
The one thing with education, I can take away your phone, I can take away your money, you can change jobs, but there's one thing that you'll have with you forever, and that's your education.
Right.
When you get that education, it's there. So often you'll see students that come in and they're only able to take a couple classes here and a couple classes there, and that's great. Do that. What I tell my students is don't stop.
Right.
Don't stop till you get that associate's.
Right.
Because once you have that associate's, you have a degree.
Right.
And that degree can open doors.
Right.
And then later on, when you go back and try to get that bachelor's, you already have that associate's. They can't take the associates away.
Right.
Now if you don't have your associates, you can lose those classes and have to retake classes. But it works in your benefit.
Yeah.
No matter how old or how long it takes you, just keep moving down that
Keep
pathway.
going. Yeah, don't stop.
God, yes.
That's awesome. So, tell us, what the heck is technical education?
Technical education. Tech ed is stuff that we do with our hands.
Okay.
Back in my day, and I know I'm a lot older than a lot of students, it was blue collar work.
Right.
What's the difference between blue collar work and white collar work? Well, white collar work was in the office. White collar doesn't get dirty, doesn't show the dirt, or white collar shows the dirt. Blue collar doesn't show dirt. That's the people that go in and work with their hands, have a lot more sweating going on. So that's what Tech Ed is. We get out there, we do automotive.
Okay.
We have a fantastic automotive program. We do welding. We do HVAC.
Okay.
We have our aviation maintenance program. And then we get into some of those that are right there on the line between blue collar and white collar, computers.
Right.
We have those. And then we have business and accounting and those, and criminal justice.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's kind of a little bit of everything, but it's the main part is for those people that want to do hands-on type of work. It's that not traditional, let's open a book and everything comes out of a book.
Okay. That sounds good. So, you talked about technical education, and you talked about some of the programs and that it's hands-on work. Can you talk to us about community partnerships and how those partnerships we have in place support student success after they complete?
Sure. With Tech Ed, you've got to have partnerships, because without those partnerships, where can we send you as a student to do that training? Eric over in automotive, Eric Gomez, he can tell you how to do brakes. He can show you how to do it in a video. But until you get in there and start working with the brakes, taking off the tire, getting in there into the drum, you're not going to grasp. You're not going to fully understand how to do it. Okay? Over there with Dusty Baker and the guys in welding, until you pick up a torch, which he let me do the other day.
Okay.
Because we're building a new automotive technology building, doing a remodel. So we were tearing apart stuff, and I told him that I'd never had a torch in my hand, never cut anything. So foolish man let me have a torch.
Awesome.
I'm in there cutting metal, and sparks are flying, and it's pretty cool. But he goes through and tells me how to do it, and that's all fine. But it was a lot different once you took that torch and started cutting stuff. So you've got to have that, and we have some great partners out in the community that we work with. Our automotive, because of the remodel that we're doing, we've had to move Eric Gomez and his people. And because of a partnership we have with Crumlin Auto, we were able to move into some buildings that they have across from the Nissan dealer.
Awesome.
So Eric is over there working with Crumlin. When they get a car in, say an electric car, Prius, we don't get Priuses and stuff. We don't work on Priuses. I mean, those are a high-priced car to get. So they'll call up Eric and say, "Hey, we got a Prius. You want to come over and see what's going on?"
Such real world.
So now they get over there, and then they are explaining. There's a lot more safety issues dealing with electrical,
Right.
Because it's got voltage to it. You don't want to touch the wrong thing and end up becoming fried chicken, because it will bite you. So they go through that. So we have the Auto Crumlin group that we partner with our aviation maintenance. We have General Airframe that supports us and works with us. Cavu Air Sales, Dean Baldwin, and the Roswell Air Center themselves. They have worked with us. We have a 727 out here that was donated to us, and they are gracious enough to let us park it there. They let us take our students out there and work it, because you just can't park a 727. And I said 747, I think, but it's a 727. You can't just park that anywhere.
Right.
It's kind of big. So they work with us there. And then we have this aviation camp that we do.
Okay.
And with the aviation camp, boy, again, you can't bring 800 students from across New Mexico to Roswell to do this without having support. And AV Flights, Go Fast Pilots, all of those guys help us. With our CDL program, it's the first time I've mentioned the CDL program. We have a CDL program to get students up and ready to test for their CDL license. Ruan is working with us. We just started working with them recently, trying to get their people trained, and they're working with us on vehicles and stuff. With our media arts, we just got some grants from Netflix to do it. And Alan Trevor, there isn't anything in this part of the state that Alan Trevor doesn't have his fingers in, so that our students go out there. I don't know how many different movies, TV shows that our guys have went out there and worked on.
Right.
And that's invaluable. To be able to sit here in little old Roswell, New Mexico, and be able to work on, movies that have been in the box office is quite, it's dynamic, and not a lot of people that can say that. So that's good. And we're working with the Portales campus, something that we're working and hopefully we'll have going on by finished and ready to start by the end of the summer is the PBS station is putting in a satellite little station, and it'll be up and ready so that they could actually run a full newscast here on campus. So that's going to open a lot of doors because now we're going to be able to draw on those guys that are running that PBS station. They are just all kinds of knowledgeable about documentaries and TV and that side of it. We do the movie side, we do the production side, but we haven't done the news side and the 60-minute type setup. So that's just given us another avenue. And again, we're being able to put students in front of the camera. They're being able to write script. They're being able to run the soundboard. So it's not just the traditional, here's a book and learn it. Because a lot of this stuff, there's value in the book, but it comes from doing it.
Right.
So with these partnerships, we're being able to not only teach the book, teach the lab, but now we can get them in. Other things that we've done is we've started in with the state where we're doing internships and apprenticeships where the state and we go in, for example, with Crumlin, students working with them, they're making a salary, they're having time to come over, take our classes, and again, they're putting that real world experience in place now from doing what Eric has told.
Right.
They've reached out with us and we're starting one up with HVAC.
Cool.
We're starting one up with our aviation maintenance, and we're looking to get one going here with welding.
Okay.
So hopefully by the end of the summer semester, beginning of the fall semester, we'll have some more of these internships, which is fantastic. And
That's
with
awesome.
internships and stuff, and having the state, these internships and apprenticeships, the state's paying for you to go to school.
Right.
Plus, you're getting money to put in your pocket so that you can live. So these are all things that are coming to fruition. That's great for our students.
So guys, more free money is a lot of what I'm hearing here. And if you know me, I'm a big fan of that. I did want to touch on some of those partnerships. It's really cool. They're offering real world experience. We're getting internships, paid internships at that. On top of that, guys, we have scholarship opportunities from these same partnerships. Crumlin to name one, Aircell to name another. So we've got scholarship opportunities in place for those programs, those majors also. Not to steal or take away from anything you're saying, but we did want to kind of touch on that.
Yeah. But what about the other scholarship from the Roundhouse, for
So
technical?
we do have for individuals that complete the GED or their high set, we do have a scholarship opportunity called the Skills and Technical Education Scholarship. So anyone that's pursuing a certificate in a tech ed or healthcare program that has received a GED or high set can apply for that money as well.
Sure. And you bring up a good thing about certificates.
Yep.
That's a nice thing about tech ed. You don't always have to go all the way through and get that associate's.
Right.
By all means, we would love you to do that, but you can get those certificates and those accomplishments. And what that does is that will allow you, when you go to a company, you can say, hey, I've got a certificate from Eastern on, from automotive, or I've taken welding and got a certificate from them. So, I mean, there's all kinds of benefits from doing it. And you build on it too. You get a couple of those certificates, and that's allowing you to get a job, which is still allowing you to finish your college to get the associates. So you keep going up that.
Yeah. So we call them stackable. That's kind of the term we use on the student services side of the house. Is we say they're stackable certificates. So you can, like Ron mentioned, you can get one and jump straight into the workforce, start earning a living while you continue to take classes and continue to work your way up. So,
and those certificates, they're really important too, because it's no longer you, the student, saying, well, I have those skills. No, it's showing you have a certificate saying, and it's backed up by Eastern.
Yeah, and a lot of our programs have accreditations. They all definitely meet industry standards. So those things are taken care of on the back end by our institution. And then, as a student, you don't have to worry about those things.
Yeah. With the automotive, it's ACE certified.
Right.
With HVAC, it's got a certification with it. With the aviation program, those are federal certificates that you get. So when you walk out of here, you have that piece of paper in hand that says, you have that skill.
Right.
You've tested, and you've done it nationally, and you're on point. Yeah, you're ready to get it done. Yeah. You're not just giving it lip service.
So I know you mentioned a little bit about the future of tech ed earlier with some of the internships that are hopefully coming. But can you tell us overall what you see in the future of tech ed at ENMU-Roswell?
Sure. The future for tech ed is just going to skyrocket. 30 years ago, tech ed was a major portion, or had major programs in the high schools. Okay, and then it seemed like back about 30, 40 years ago, now I'm aging myself, they started doing away with those programs. When I went to high school, our high school had a full printing shop, and we printed all the stationery, business letterhead, and everything for the city that I lived in. We had an automotive program. We had an electronic program, or electrical program. We taught how to wire houses. And then we had an electronics program for radios and stuff. Then we had a full sheet metal program. So we had all these different programs, but then they just went away because it was like everybody needs to go to college. No, everybody doesn't need to go to college because some people just don't have an interest in that college.
Right.
And I know people in Roswell that are in the trades that make a lot more money than a lot of doctors, lawyers, and stuff. So you can make a fantastic living. And, without being crude or anything, a plumber is your best friend when your toilet's stopped up. Trust me, when it's backing up into the house, that is your new best friend. And you will pay him whatever he wants to make it stop. So, that is the thing. And now we're starting to see legislation moving through that's pushing these programs back to the forefront. For a long time, the state said, come out here and take dual credit. And, there's a bill being passed through the Roundhouse this session that is trying to bring in some of the tech ed stuff.
Awesome.
And having it fulfill college or high school requirements. So it's coming back. In the short time that I've been interim, we've had people from the construction trade come in and say, Ron, what is it that you need us to do to start these programs?
Awesome.
We have industry that's coming in saying, hey, we need somebody that can come in. We're calling them generalist, a mechanics generalist, somebody that knows a little bit about a lot of stuff.
Right.
Can you put together those type of programs for us? And we're doing that. You know, we're taking a little bit of Dusty's welding, taking a little bit of Eric's automotive, and then we're going over to aviation, because aviation does hydraulics, they do electronics, they do troubleshooting. So we're taking and pulling from all the different areas and getting this certificate so that people can come out to these companies and do it. So we're starting to get the buy-in, not only at the state level, but we're starting to get it at the community level.
Right.
And we're also starting to see it at a federal level.
Cool.
So, you know, I see us bringing in more programs.
So
Expansion,
Yeah.
but slow expansion.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than building a bunch of programs that nobody wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
When
we're
job demand, right? We're looking at
we're looking at job demand.
So we have to do, you know, when we're talking about expanding programs, there's something called feasibility studies.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got to make sure that there's, you know, we offer a program that there's actually job demand in the next 5 years. It's trended.
Sure.
So,
And that's where these partners come in.
right.
You know, and it's these partners turn us on to other people in the industry. You know, one of the companies that we had come in this week, they're an excavating. They do road work. They use heavy machinery. You know, and we're looking at trying to put something together for them. And the nice thing with Tech Ed is we can build programs, or we can go through CWC. And please help me. CWC stands for.
So the Community Workforce Development.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Vicki Thompson, when you see this, I apologize for not knowing what the acronym's for. But you know, that's another avenue that we bring in this technical ed, because what's nice is we bring it in through the CWC, and then as it starts taking off and building, then we build a program.
Almost like a trial
it.
run, right?
Yeah, it's a trial run, and to see you know, exactly what we need, how we need to do it,
To
and
make it successful when you're rolling
right,
out.
and see if it will last long term.
Right.
Because we have in the past started programs, went through, because it takes a while to get a program. From the time somebody comes in and says, "Can you start a program?" It's going to take us a year just to get the paperwork done.
Right.
That's not putting the classes together and all that. So it takes time. So being able to run it through the CWC, we can start those classes, start working towards getting the people the skills they need, at the same time seeing that the feasibility is there
Right.
to sustain it, and then we're good to go. Because 10 years ago, we had a green program, you know, doing wind, solar, and stuff, and it wasn't the right time.
Right.
Because we couldn't bring enough students in to keep the program going. But now, again this week, I had conversations with a company that does solar in the area and is willing to partner with us and do internships with students if we can come up with a program.
Okay.
So, you know, these
So
are
there's
just
exciting stuff.
There is.
So
I
there's
mean,
a lot of-
solar.
yeah.
There's wind coming in. You know, there's a new aviation company that's coming in. They want 300 certified aviation, airframe, and power
Power plant, yeah.
people. I mean, that's 300 people. You want a good paying job, and you want to be able to do it for a long time, we can. I mean, the average age for that, they're in their 50s, and I believe it's their late 50s.
Right.
So a whole segment is going to be retiring, and we need to get that segment working. So with this company coming in, you know, yeah,
That's awesome.
just
So you guys are hearing it here first, right? So exciting news about expansion, growth, huge enrollment opportunities. So we're excited about the future of Tech Ed.
yeah,
So, you know, thanks for your time today.
You bet.
We appreciate you, you know, visiting with us. Do want to mention, we didn't mention at the top, we are practicing social distancing. We had masks on when we came in, so everybody can feel good about that. So we look forward to seeing what Tech Ed has You guys can go back and visit our HVAC video. That was exciting. I got to light stuff, a torch on fire. So good stuff there. But again, thanks a lot, Ron. for
You
your
betcha.
time.
I appreciate it.